Hey, what's up, everyone out there? Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of the Addicted Fishing Podcast. We're back in the studio again. We had a couple weeks where we were out smashing on some fish during the live feeds. That was fun.
Yeah, it was a little too good, so we had to play outside before all the fires and all the smoke, and
exactly
while we were getting fish crazy like,
and while you were allowed to fish, so.
That too.
Well, we could.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd be right back out there
the
right
season,
now.
Yeah. I think
would
if the
love
season
to be out there. Right
I think
now.
if the season was open, we may be out there right now,
Guaranteed.
live feeding it.
Guaranteed.
Well, we cut in and had to do a little cheater live feed on Sunday.
Yeah.
And, it was pretty eventful. We'll get into that in a little bit, I'm sure.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, you guys, we go live on our YouTube channel, Addicted Fishing. So make sure you guys get over there and tune in. Sometimes we're live fishing, or we're doing our live feeds in the studios every single Wednesday. We usually record these podcasts right before that. So
yeah,
a little behind the scenes for you guys.
If we're early enough, of course.
Yeah, if we're early enough.
But they always turn out fun for you guys listening.
Yeah. Make sure you guys are dropping comments below. I do read all the comments. Let us know what you guys are liking about these, what you want to see changed. We always like to get the feedback, and we always try to keep refining these things, which is why you've seen the studio change like 1,500 times if you're watching the videos.
We were watching on the old YouTube.
Yep, that is right. What are you looking up over there on your phone?
Man, I was just doing a little prep work here today because we're in past podcasts we talked about a lot of like the season setting and some of the processes that go on there, and we're kind of sitting at like Jordan mentioned on another closed day situation. So we're sitting in here in the podcast and not fishing. I actually got to sleep in today and spend some time actually cleaning my boat and garage. But I tell you what, there's some really good news on the horizon. We do have a compact meeting tomorrow. Obviously, by the time you guys hear it, it's probably already going to happen. But we do have some big upgrades to the fall Chinook run, which I don't think was truly a shock to anybody. But they did upgrade our upriver brights that are going over Bonneville Dam to 267,000, which puts us over the 200,000 mark, which basically doubles our impacts. So there's going to be a meeting tomorrow. My guess is if we didn't hammer them too hard the last 3 days, which fishing was beyond phenomenal, reminiscent.
We hammered them hard.
Reminiscent of the 2014-15 million fish runs. I mean, stupid to where, I don't think there was that many people out, and I don't think we could have hammered them that bad to where like we somehow blew out a quota that just doubled. Like basically we'd have to assume we caught as many fish at buoy 10 in 13 days where we caught more than 12,000, which didn't happen. Upriver brights, mind you, not just lower river fish. So bottom line is, once again, sports called it. We said that there was a big run. We were hammering fish out there. It was evident in the catch and what's been going over the dam. I think tomorrow we're going to have some really good news coming.
Yoo-hoo!
I hope so.
And now I don't want it to rain the rest of the winter.
Well, and
rest of the fall.
And it's supposed to rain a half-inch tomorrow.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be good for the fire.
It says 20% now.
Oh, geez.
Half inch.
Here we go.
And it's gone.
Yep, it ain't coming.
Oh,
It's still going to burn.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
But Cameron's fishing will stay good, so.
Yeah, I'd rather have the fires out. But, yeah, either way, it's going to be pretty good. And, obviously with this year and, with the seasons and kind of with what everything's going on, it's like you definitely have to pay attention a little bit to the rules, because there was a couple guys out there fishing the mouth of the see that post?
Yeah.
A couple guys out there fishing and just hammering them, like 3 boats out there. Mouth of the can't say the river name. So does that work? Does that work?
No.
There's gonna be you guys probably just heard a bunch of bleeps, but
Tits isn't a bad thing to say.
is tits a bad word?
God, what are we talking about right now? Where's this podcast even going?
I don't know.
Anyways, they were out there. They're out there fish.
Fishing, and a lot of people that work around there on the docks and stuff are taking pictures of it. Someone made a post on Addicted. I'm like, well, I don't really blame them. I mean, half the time we don't even know the season's open. If it's 1 fish, 2 fish, clip fish, blue fish, whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
We don't really know, and I don't necessarily blame the guys, but it is your responsibility to know what's going on. So the seasons have been very.
That's like walking into a bank and just going behind the counter and grabbing out of the register and being like, oh, yeah, I didn't really even know, I didn't know if I had to pay for these groceries or not. I didn't see a sign where it said I had to pay for them, so
And
I
you
just
know what?
walked out of the store with all these groceries.
And I bet the fishing was that good. It was probably very similar to that.
Yeah.
Like, man, this is insane.
Groceries were involved.
I drop a lure in the water and it gets bit.
It is one of those days where they were
Okay.
probably looking around going, "Is it even open?" Because man, this is really good.
Well, there's one guy there, so it must be okay.
Yeah. Oh God, that's probably exactly what they thought too. Oh, he's out here, so
He's out here on game. Oh
That's
my
the
god!
best
In a
day
spot
ever.
that there should be 150,000 boats, right?
Oh
Oh,
my
God.
gosh. Maybe they just didn't give a F. Maybe
I
they
mean,
were
maybe
just like
they were
patriots.
retired.
They're just like, screw the
They were
man.
like,
I'm
"This
going
is America.
fishing.
These
They
fish
were
are mine."
protesting.
Oh, that's
There
true.
we
They could have. They could have
go.
been. That's
They had their hook points cut off.
I wonder if you could get away with that, like with everything now.
Well, it's like you can shoot like rubber
Well,
bullets.
even if you didn't have your
or
hooks
rubber
cut off,
arrows. I mean,
you're protesting. You're just releasing the fish, letting them go, but you're protesting them.
I think the season should be open.
Yeah, I mean, me too. That's the protest.
Oh
See, and
my.
this is why.
And the 6 guys in my boat think so too. So I'm just gonna take them on. Exclusive protesting guided fishing. I don't think that would fly. I don't think that'd fly too far.
No, you would not get away with that. There'd be some,
It's all how you
some
market it,
tickets
you guys.
flying.
It's all how you market it.
Oh my god.
Do you drink these things right here, these body armors? If you don't drink these and you drink like Gatorade and stuff, you need to switch to these. These are so freaking good, dude. They taste 1,000,000 times better than Gatorade.
Okay, so we try
Can I
not
tell
to
you
They have
sidetrack a
2
little
grams
bit,
of
but
sugar.
now how are we talking about this? Are they a sponsor?
No, they're not. I
So
wish
people
they
are
were.
listening to this podcast.
Body
and you come
Armor-
out of the blue and go, "Have you tried these body armors?"
Hey, Body Armor Light, if you want to sponsor us,
Oh,
hook
God.
me
You
up.
gotta look at the distributor is and figure that out. Who makes it?
Manufactured by Body Armor Sports Nutrition.
Oh, geez, it's their own thing.
So
Okay,
Body
well,
Armor,
there you go.
hook me up, please.
I'm
with a
sure they're
sponsorship.
listening right now too.
Maybe.
They
These
might like
addicts out
fishing.
here
we
listening,
were talking. About
I'm letting them
fishing.
know to go pick up some Body Armors. They're delicious. The blueberry pomegranate ones too.
I was going to talk about a little bit about egg fishing. and
Okay,
egg
well,
carrying,
let's
but
talk
forget
about
it. No,
fishing,
I don't
man.
want to talk about it though.
No.
Talk
What
about
else is
body
going?
armor.
Okay, let's go. What are we talking about? Jordan, have you been catching any fish?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been good.
What river you been on? How many bites you been getting a day?
The
Are the fish chrome or are
the
they dark?
upper west fork of the south fork.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
a good trip.
Yeah, especially this time of year.
Seriously though,
Need a
what's
little water though.
what have you been noticing? What have you been noticing?
I've been noticing a lot of fish coming in. It's almost, and I've seen things like this a couple times around here, but mostly like in Alaska where there's big commercial fisheries and like when the main stems of the rivers and the estuary area isn't getting fished, the amounts of fish that pour into the river, and you can notice the movement of fish a lot more because there's not hundreds of people out there catching them. So each day that we haven't got in between like these last couple openers that we had, just seeing these good amounts of fish pour into seems every estuary, every tributary river and so on and so forth up the Columbia. Even as far as past the Dalles Dam and stuff, all those rivers seem to have started getting a lot of fish. And so it's early. It hasn't even rained. It's
good.
fantastic.
I
I
know.
love it. And the thing is, the way I can really tell fishing's been pretty good everywhere is you're not hearing a peep or seeing any unfamiliar faces anywhere you go because everybody's at their home waters catching fish. I feel like that's what I really feel like is going on right now. So, getting out of the big river seasons and looking at the tributary areas, I think I'm plenty happy. I'm excited to wake up tomorrow.
You've been seeing? Is it been a lot of hardware, a lot of jigs, a lot of?
It's been a really
bait.
tough bite. To tell you the truth, I've been going a lot of bait. That's kind of why we the live feed that we're doing tonight and this podcast as well is a lot about bait fishing and the right kind of bait setups. But long leaders, almost like Nick Popov winter steelhead style. Long leaders, a lot of split shot baits, getting the main presentation, getting your your boxy flamboyant bobbers and stuff out of the mix and like going stealth mode on them. It's been the only way to get them to bite because there's lots of them, but they're hard to get to bite. The water's low. It's warm.
Dude, if you
And-
get me out there in the morning twitching some jigs,
I was just saying,
around,
like second cast today, I got one on a twitching jig.
twitching some
But-
jigs.
To be fair,
I mean, we caught fish the
It's-
first couple. I've caught a fish the first cast today too, but it's not like bam. You're
Yeah.
fishing all day and you're getting 6 and you saw 2, however many. like
200,
hundreds.
yeah.
You
Right.
know what I mean? It's like, well, we're not doing it right. You know,
Yeah.
we could be doing it. We could be getting more.
Well, and to be fair, like the school that I think I was picking on was, it's like
That,
the
like-
second riffle probably in the whole river.
Right.
And they, like I walked up and it's like, oh, those are chrome. Like, and
Yeah.
they're sitting. That's the other thing. Like the coho right now, like they're moving and they're like holding in tailouts. They're holding in the moving water because like I think the pools and some of the more traditional spots they sit in, it's just way too glassy for them. They want to have a little moving water. They're sitting in the riffles. They're kind of, I mean, honestly, they're acting like steelheads. Really.
Oh
And,
yeah.
So like
The top ends of all the runs are just
top ends. Yeah.
You start getting down into it, like you get to where your props hitting the gravel, and you're like, okay, and you look over, and it's like, oh crap, you know, like they're right there, you know, not down in the tail out. And I feel like a lot of it too is because there's good Chinook numbers in most areas, almost all areas, so they keep those coho and those smaller fish out of those perfect pockets and out of those deeper tail outs, you know, where those Chinook want to be in that cold water. And then the only place the coho can go is somewhere in the fast water, you know, kind of like steelhead.
No, they like cover too, though. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't want to sit in that glassy open stuff.
Right.
And, I mean, even when we floated it, but sledded it a couple days ago, or last week, I guess it'd be last week now. Same thing, we went up and slugged it out with all the guys fishing, the Chinook holes. And then it's like, well, let's go downriver and see what's going on. And shoot, the first couple of bobber and eggs we put through some of those runs, it was just like, oh, here they're all sitting here. Cool. Not a soul. But it's a little tougher fishing because you got to be a little stealthier. I think the fish get, after that first hour in the morning, they're kind of getting they'll get real wary to you.
The smoke is helping greatly, must say.
I've heard that.
It
I've
cuts
actually
down.
heard that a
It
couple
cuts
times.
down a lot, obviously, on the UV. So, like the first day of the big smoke, I was in a particular run of the river, and I think you could have been on any river at this day, and was standing up and turned around in the middle of the day, and there was about 100 fish going across the tail out that was about a foot deep, and like it was the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Like they just had no care in the world, but you could hardly see 300 yards because of the smoke. And I think there was so little UV, it was like convincing, it was like confusing them that it was like nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
So they were on the move, middle of the day, 2:00 in the afternoon, just trucking through.
That's crazy.
And I've seen it all week where it did add some cover for them. You're in that.
You also have the accuracy by volume thing too, because when you get a lot of fish moving in the system, one thing I'll say, like with these fact sheets that TAC came out with today, they basically,
Push each other
the
around.
tactical advisory committee, they kind of moved a lot of these numbers up. And so like just reading in right here, like from one of the fact sheets is above Bonneville, they only thought like 42,000 fish were going to get above Bonneville for the A run early fish. And now they're thinking, I think 67,000. So, I mean, they're all these runs and kind of all this stuff that we were coming in is definitely coming in. It's doing better than forecast. I mean, with Chinook, lower river Chinook, even the river that you're fishing, like there's way more in there than there probably was gonna, or what we'd assume would have been with this run size.
I remember a pretty
They've
doom and
upgraded-
gloomy message at the beginning, where it was like we might not really get
It's
to
going to be better.
fish.
It's going to be better. It was
but-
supposed to be better than last year, but I think honestly, we could be looking at a 500,000 plus Chinook, to the river mouth. The real question though, and this is kind of the big wild card of the season, is the A run. When everyone looked at that coho number and they thought, it's going to be like 400,000 back to the Columbia River. Like 80% of that was supposed to be A run, where generally we get a pretty smaller A run and then a considerably bigger B run. Well, this year it's completely flip flopped. And so the question is like, we see these coho now, they're definitely A run, early run coho. They've been in here for a couple weeks now, but the question is what's going to be behind them in that October, November timeframe, because that's the run that really isn't not supposed. In fact, actually it's closed on our river in a traditional, some of the best coho time to fish it, which is really disgusting, I might add. And usually by the time they see it, it's too late to open.
Yeah.
But it's really going to be interesting to see how that all plays out, because right now everything is getting upgraded. Even steelhead, even some of the A and B run
Do you think
steelhead.
some of these closures will flip before the season even starts then?
The problem is
Ooh,
right
that's
now,
so good. That's such good news about the steelhead, dude, because we're going to do some epic steelhead stuff.
right now, like the
I missed
odds of them flipping and changing that though, like right now they're paper fish. Like they're not fish that have been hard counted or gone through a dam or through a weir system. And at least for some of these lower Columbia River tributaries that are really supposed to be low on that B run, like it's kind of like by the time the only time they're going to know they're there is by the time they're either hitting the hatcheries or hitting the hydropower projects, to where like, oh, well, we can count them now. Oh shit, we have a lot of them. Well, they're by us.
Well,
Like, they're gone.
I heard escapement on certain rivers, like, you know, in our area, Northwest Oregon and Southwest Washington, escapement reports back to hatcheries are like minuscule. But the river is full of them, so you're exactly right.
I don't think that. I think
like,
they're moving into some of these rivers, but they're not necessarily like
going.
they're staging.
Yeah.
It's not raining. They're holding tight for the time being.
Yeah. And so just for the sake of conversation, we haven't talked about this on any kind of live feeder podcast, but some of the reasons as to why you think we're getting a bigger run.
Well, I think we've got the right feed. I think we've got the right ocean, because I'll say this, down at Buoy 10 shoot a week ago, last Monday, Tuesday, 10 days ago, there we go. I'm getting all mixed up. Some of those coho, some of those hatchery coho we were catching down there were bigger than I've ever witnessed in that fishery. Like, consistently bigger. 9, 10, 11, 12 pounds. Like, you just don't see coho like that early in the first week of September. You just don't. And I mean, those were fish that I expect to be catching like around Thanksgiving, you know, ones that stayed out in the ocean and fed for another 4 to 6 weeks before, you know, they came in, versus the ones I'm catching now. I mean, God knows what we're going to see. You know, hopefully if we see any amount of coho in October, November, hopefully, I mean, we could be seeing
Have
some
you
giants.
seen that same thing from other guys that are fishing down there like consistently?
Big coho?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people are saying the same thing.
Crazy.
And what's crazy too is even in June and July out in the ocean fisheries, like, now keep in mind, a very typical coho for that time of year is 3 pounds, 4 pounds. Like, let's just be honest. Like, we all say they're 6 to 8. They're not. They're 3 to 4 pounds. But we were catching some 7 and 8s out there. And those were very, like, just unfamiliar to us in that June and July fishery out there as well. So I think the fish are eating well. I don't think the fish that were coming down south, you know, back to your original question, hit a wall of 66-degree water up on the shore. I mean, last year, for God's sakes, I hooked a tuna off the lighthouse in 50 feet of water north of the Columbia River. Like, that shouldn't happen. And that's not good for salmon. And then on top of that, I think what you're probably alluding to is just, you know, there hasn't been the need for a lot of the salmon and the seafood, just with the COVID and the kind of the slowdown economically, and with some of these seasons and with some of these, like, literally cities and towns shutting down. I don't think there was a lot of them harvested. And let's be honest, almost all our fish that freaking die, that come into that are destined back for the Columbia River, die in those commercial fisheries up north.
Yeah. And another, I mean, you hinted, referred to 2014 earlier, and it's like, that was but a lot of very, very experienced anglers and scientists around our area referred to in 2014 was like the compacts for Alaska and Canada. They didn't harvest but a third of what they normally harvested, and we had millions of Chinook come back to the Columbia River.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Ocean conditions, exactly.
Yeah, I
think
think
same kind of like predictions were normal to fair to midland, and bam.
I think if I remember, the 1.2 million Chinook run, they predicted 600,000 back to the Columbia River mouth, somewhere in there. Like, it came back double and pushed it over a mill.
So I'm hoping that we really do have a big number to still see.
Fun,
yeah.
But still, I remember back that year though, in August, there was 40 to 80,000 Chinook going over a day.
Yeah, there was some big numbers.
But
what's funny right now, this run is actually beating the 10-year average, which incorporates those 2 years of just ridiculousness Chinook numbers. So it's a really...
I've noticed that it's been going down a little bit though.
Right, but dude, you don't think that sport fleet, like, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, that was those last 3 days of fishing were better than anything I've seen in the last 20 years out in the Columbia, with the exception of that.
It actually went up.
Yeah, it went back up too. What was it today? I didn't see today.
It went to 10. It went back down. It went back down to 7,500.
So it went to 10, 75. You have to think we've got to be whacking 2,000 to 3,000 a day.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, put it this way, like I
don't think so.
That's a lot of fish.
Freaking way.
Well, we'll put it into perspective here. The Warrior lined Bonneville fishery on September 4th, 5th, and 6th had an allocation of 11,000 upriver brights, and the season ran every day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday through August. But those last 3 days, they assumed they planned on us catching 70% of the catch in those 3 days. So we can assume 70% of 11,000 is about 7,000 fish 3 days. That's 2,500 fish a day. And that was on September 4th, 5th, and 6th. And they just let us fish 3 days on September 11th, 12th, and 13th. And it was better. It was better. So to think 2,000 fish, 3,000 fish a day, I mean, that's 10,000. That could be 10,000 fish. It really could be. And I believe the fishing was that good. The question was, did the fires and did the smoke keep a percentage of people off the water? Because it was pretty busy where I was at.
I didn't think it was that bad.
But once I went downriver, there was nobody there.
Yeah,
so
like,
I don't know. I'm really, but I don't know what happened. And see, a lot of that catch does come from Warrior to Bonneville, and we weren't even there. And it was so foggy one of the mornings, you couldn't even tell if there was anybody outside.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, it really, those numbers it's just like
there's a lot of people fishing above like 205 and stuff
right.
too.
And the thing about it is, like, when you look into the perspective, like when you put it into perspective, like you look at our spring Chinook run, right? We catch like tens of fish in March, and then we get 2 or 3 days where we catch like 100 fish a day, and then like the last 3 days of the fish, we ramp up to like over 1,000 fish harvested a day. Just boom, boom, boom. Like, and it happens so fast if the run's there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, of course, with the doubling of impacts and going from that 8% magic number to the 15%, I don't think we could have caught too many of them.
I mean, I went out even how many half days or third, 1/3 days did you go out and get a boat full? And like I couldn't even get a hold of anybody, and I went out there and I'm like, okay, let's just keep trying. Bam! Oh, fish on. Okay,
yeah, there was a
let's
lot.
Go back to that depth. Bam, fish on. It's just like bam, 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 bam. Okay.
No, the fish are there.
Fishing anymore.
The fish are there.
That's great.
But one thing actually that might have actually curtailed the catch a little bit on those last 3 days was Friday. I heard it was excellent down in the lower river, but then Saturday and Sunday they kind of struggled a little bit. But I think the tides might have got a little big for them, so it just kind of pushed those fish way up in the river. So I mean, look, time will tell. We'll see what happens. I mean, I just want to I wish the states and I wish the powers that be would start taking a little bit of acknowledgement that what the sport fleet can put up in numbers, it can basically show how strong the run is and do it early and jump on that. There's got to be a correlation between our sport catch and these runs that come in under forecasted. Like, there's got to be a way I can look at this when the season's all said and done. I can look at all the early catch before they pulled the trigger and upgraded the run and be like, oh, okay, well, they caught this many. Well, yeah, the run's probably actually this strong, and see those numbers year after year. There's got to be a correlation there, and I wish they'd use it.
Yeah.
Because an underpredicted run, we get shut down earlier because there's way more fish there, and until those fish actually get counted, then they don't know. And we sit on the sidelines and we watch 10,000 fish go over the dam a day.
Yeah. Well, all our fingers are crossed and we're all knocking on wood for tomorrow's meeting. Because if it did open up like that and it's full throttle, the amount of pressure, the amount of pissy fishermen, the amount of fights on the river, everybody would be so much happier because there would be room for everybody to fish. We won't all be crammed and bottlenecked into certain tributaries and certain rivers, and it's just going to be a great fall.
I know I haven't put I
haven't
put the jet on my sled yet for a reason. So I'm holding out hope that I don't have to.
No, we're about to get slammed with rain this year. They're predicting like a gnarly winter.
Good.
I can see it.
We
didn't even have a summer.
Yeah.
That was the craziest. I cannot believe how many leaves are turning color and everything. It's just nuts outside.
Well, that's good because remember
we didn't have a summer
like
because
mid-November. The green leaves were still on the trees, and we're like, "Come on, drop, get these salmon in." I will say this too. When you want to talk about run timings, and a very good friend of mine who guides up like in that Nia Bay Upper Sound area said all the Chinook are 2 weeks late, and which is crazy to think. And I have yet to catch like an upriver bright that has anything close to what I would say would be 30% developed eggs. Like, I'll catch 8 or 9 good fish, hens, and the skeins, like for how big the fish are not what I'm used to seeing this time of year.
Well, I saw the video of you cleaning fish the other day.
They were very small.
They were all tiny.
They're underdeveloped.
They were all hands.
Right,
they were all tiny.
Right, they're
underdeveloped. I was like, well, this looked like, stuff you see it in the fridge.
Well, in the ocean shop. Even.
Yeah.
Like, they're just very underdeveloped. So I think we have a long way to go.
Yeah.
I really do. I think this run's got a lot of. I think a lot of fish blasted in early. They went over the dam, but I think this run's got a lot of shoulders on it. I think it's going to go for a long time.
Yeah. Well, we'll be out there getting them.
That's right.
That's a fact. I'm just ready for twitching. That's all. I'll
There's not going to be any bee runs, but
I'll go hunting until twitching season.
No, they'll be gone by the time you get back.
In one river, there's not going to be any bee runs. There'll be bee runs in some rivers.
Nope, not even the one you really like.
Mm-hmm.
No forecast for it. They didn't release any.
Okay.
That's a total lie. I tried to get him to bite. Nope, sorry. But you know what we are going to catch on. You know what we are going to catch with the twitching jigs on Friday?
Bass?
Nope, a tuna. Stay tuned.
That's true. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be a very exciting episode on the old YouTube channel. I don't know what we're going to do with that, but hopefully we catch one.
Oh, we're getting tuna for sure. Getting tuna for sure.
If not,
you don't think we're going to catch one out there?
It's fishing.
We're catching tuna for sure.
We are.
Dude, I bring such a good aura to the boat.
It'll
Be tuna all around us.
You do good in the ocean?
There'll be tuna all around us. Dude.
Yeah,
can see
Marlin
Marlin
is an
getting
old
really
salt
green.
tuna slayer, I'm sure.
I mean, dude, my name's Marlin. I'm like from the ocean.
You know what though?
Yeah.
They are seeing finfish out there
I know.
too.
Oh man, it's gonna be epic. Well, thanks again, everyone, for tuning into this episode. Do not forget, make sure you guys check out our sponsor, Nick Wax, down below. We got links down below, and go to your local Walmart and buy some of our twitching jigs because we got them in Walmart now.
Super secret.
And bobbers.
And bobbers and
And
lots of
jigs.
different things. So better get them before they're gone. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Later, boys.